Hey everybody, joining you from the orchard here. So I've been thinking about some things, and been thinking a lot about just how people are and their bad nature. So if you've ever read some of Steven Pinker's stuff, talking about better nature or better angels of our nature and things like this, he's a psychologist. He's famous, allegedly, but I don't think he knows what he's talking about. And I know he's talking about war and all these different things, but we just channel that energy differently. And really, it's more of a wimpy way of doing it these days. It's through paperwork and, through proxy a lot of times, lawyers, things like that. I don't know if that solves anything better. When you hear people say, hey, just go outside and touch the grass, it's because you're disconnected to the world. You need to be more connected with it. And so, like, I've had people, I've been put through the ringer through life, as most of us are, to some degree. It just depends on, well, honestly, it just depends on you, and it depends on how much you do. And the more you do, and the more you accomplish, the more opportunities there are for people to try to take advantage of you. And people try to take advantage of successful people who have done well in their life, people who have, accomplished something, right? Like, I haven't accomplished much, but, that's my tractor. It's paid for. I have a house behind it's paid for. I have a woodshed I built there, I mean, the dirt's paid for. It ain't a big deal. It's nothing that is to write home about, but it's mine. I've accomplished something. Um, and so people see this, but they're not willing to work for anything. Even seeing something like this, an old 1977 Case tractor, people try to take crap from you like that, right? I don't get it. It's a rust bucket. I mean, I worked for it. It was, it was hard to work for and stuff, but I did. And I got a little tiny house out in the countryside, and people try to take it from you. I've got, they'll do anything to not, they'll work so hard to not have to work for a dollar. And, just the way I live is I'm able to do a lot more than I do as far as buying stuff. Could I have bought a house in a fancy subdivision, stuff like that? Sure. Could I sell everything and go buy one in a fancy subdivision outright today? Yeah, probably. But sell all my junk here, uh, you know, eat into my investments and go pull some of that stuff out, go invest it in a pretty house that's built out of cardboard, basically a McMansion. Sure, you're gonna have all these problems, and then you can't afford to fix these problems, and you wonder why, right? And then people just acting in bad faith all the time. Let me just tell you, I've been sued over land that I bought in good faith, and I did everything right, and still got sued. Now that case has since ended, and as far as everything went, it went good. I didn't, nothing happened, right? I just had to pay a lawyer. And should I have had to pay that lawyer? No. Could I have countersued and got my money back? Yeah, probably. But it's good money chasing bad money, possibly, right? You pay an attorney to get your money back, and you can't get your money back on the attorney you pay to get your money back. It just doesn't make sense. So you can, if you want to just cause pain to the other person, but I'm not like that. That lasted 2.5 years, right? I had a piece of property that I paid for and couldn't use. Couldn't do nothing with it. Well, I could have, but then if I built a fence on it and then he won the lawsuit, I risked losing that fence. But I mean, there was really a very tiny chance that he might lose the lawsuit or that I might lose the lawsuit. And it never did come to fruition, but I don't believe in, tempting the universe, right, to do bad things to you. But, that's happened to me. I've had, uh, I've had surveys sent out about me publicly or insinuating about things about the position I was in a voluntary role, and just insinuating. And survey go out to say 200 people, and then it's leading questions, just talking trash about you, basically. And veiled talking trash about you. Then they get all their little friends. Let's fill out this survey and let's say all these bad things or whatever. And then the PR director comes and publishes it, basically, and with all the comments and no names redacted. As far as the survey's anonymous, so you can't figure out who said it about you. But you know they name you in their comments, talking trash, right, and lying. So it's publishing libel, right? And so that gets sent out, and just mobbing. It might send it out to 200 people, but he gets 60 of his buddies to fill it out, and the other 140, 135, whatever, decide, hey, I'm not going to fill that out. I don't agree with that survey, because the options are: does this guy suck, or does he really suck, or does he super suck? So, or is he, bad but not terribly awful, right? And so that's the scale you're dealing with, type thing. Obviously that's not exactly what was said, but they try to make it sound professional, but it's not professional, right? It's not, you know. And the dude who designed it, he didn't even go to a real college, right? And then he wants to say, oh, I know all these things. Like, no, you don't know nothing, dude. But, they're going to demonize me because I dared have an opinion when asked, right? And so, just you go through these things in life, and it's wild. You get demonized in front of 200 people for nothing, made up, just completely made up stuff, and then you get sued when you paid for a piece of property, and it wouldn't have even been on you had it gone wrong anyway. It would have been on the seller, because it was a third party suing. So you have all these things that happen, and you're just like, why? What's going on in the world, right? And so it's hard not to say, to stand here and be like, we're in the end times, right? It makes me feel like we're in the end times, but you know, as many books have said before, and many books about the Christian faith and the Christian faith itself has explained, you're going to go through trials and tribulations. All these bad things are going to happen. The world is not a sunshiny, wonderful place, right? It was designed by God and created by God, but without the presence of evil, you can't have good. And so I believe that. And so I believe we go through everything for a reason. And so, I've been seasoned as a person, as if firewood has been seasoned. And, especially when you have your elders, older people than you and stuff, who are just completely mean for no reason. None. And then when you respond in mean fashion back, they want to demonize you. Yeah, that's how it works, right? And so I just, if you need a villain, I'm your guy. I'm your guy. It's fine. So, I do what I'm going to do. I'm only on this world for a short period of time. In 90 years, even if I make it to 90, it's a short period of time, and so you have to cherish it. You have to cherish those that love you, and you have to look past the ignorance, just the straight ignorance and hatefulness of some of these people. Like, I can look into some of their eyes, and just see the devil. I can see the hurt and the pain and the excruciating cries for help from their soul. But they've sold their soul. They've sold their soul to a company or to a vice or to anything that takes away a little bit of the pain but provides more, right? And so it's hard. It's hard out here. And so we just need to help each other through life. And if you see a fellow man out there and you see him down, and just help him. But if you see somebody being evil and cruel, I say it opens, in my opinion, it opens up the gates to smack that behavior down. The thing about it is we as Christians, and I should not be preaching about Christianity or nothing like that. I'm not the best one out there, but I will tell you, I try my best with where I'm at, and I'm trying every day to be better. But we've lost our edge. We don't stand up for things a lot. You're going to let your boss go in there and tell you how to think? I don't think so, old bud. I don't think so. You're going to let them let you do a little shady stuff so you keep your job? You're going to lie so you can keep your job? Like, no, dude. No. And quite frankly, my wife, she doesn't need to be going to work for some other person who's going to give her orders and then be against our household. You got to keep Eve away from the tree. Keep Eve away from the tree. And that's the best thing I can do in my book is to keep Eve away from the tree. Okay? And you protect your family. And you do that however you need to do that. But I just putting value on these jobs is crazy. Putting value on these items, right? It's a tractor, dude. It's an old tractor. Barely runs. Well, it runs really good, actually. It runs much better than the newer one I've got. But it has value, right? But not for my soul. That's going to rust and return to the earth. That house is going to rot and return to the earth someday. All this is going to be gone someday. But hopefully I can build something that my kids and their kids and their kids can enjoy. But beyond that, they've got to take the bull by the horns and do it themselves a little bit too. Or else their grandkids is not going to be able to support themselves or have something. So, anyway, we all have to go through bad things. Help each other out. Don't put them down. Don't send out surveys about your fellow employees and talk trash about them when you know it's not true. Don't sue people because you think you're owed something, but you were trying to play the system to avoid having to pay for it. Don't do that. Don't go buy the fanciest car you can buy and put yourself in servitude to an immoral company. And here's a hint: moral companies can become immoral instantly, depending on what's going on. So just do your best. That's all we can ask for.